Hey guys, I am at the park with the kids. You can probably hear them in the background. I homeschool, so in the middle of the day I clock out of work and then we try to go do something and then we get back to assignments. But I have been wanting to do an update on the Kiely Rodni for my channel, even though, you know, all the news is already out there. But I just have some things to say, okay? I have some things to say, especially with this Megan lady popping back up out of nowhere. I don't know why all of a sudden her video calls from Acid Mel show are being like recirculated. I mean, I'm kind of glad they are, because a lot of the stuff that she's saying, to be honest, doesn't make any sense. This woman speaks in circles, and it's extremely difficult for her to finish one complete sentence without skipping into 5 different subjects before finishing the sentence. So I'm going to say that. She popped up on a girl's live. Believe her name is Michelle. I'll have the link to her YouTube channel down here. The main thing that I got from this Megan woman coming up on Michelle's channel is that she's a nosy body looky-loo who purposely puts herself in everyone's business. No matter if she actually knows the family and the kids or anything else, she feels the need to insert herself and know everyone's drama. And if you feel like dealing with hours of listening to her salad vomit that just doesn't make sense coming out of her mouth, feel free to go and listen to it. But she literally mentions and compares the Kiely case and the way that kids would have reacted to calling 911 or leaving her there to a million other situations that apparently happened in that town that she personally inserted herself into and just knows all the details about. I don't trust people like that at all. And I found it really interesting that this woman was like so confident in her damn self to say something as brass as she said. And from the comments, I'm not thinking that very many people caught it. Now, I'm at the park, so I don't have my notes, but I have the timestamp for when this Megan woman clearly states she is aware of what was in Kiely's system. Then she proceeds to state that it was coke. Then she proceeds to further make herself look even worse by stating she knows the person in which Kiely did coke with. And so she knows the timing in which Kiely would have done said coke, and that it can't be related to what happened to Kiely, because if Kiely was as drunk and inebriated as everyone is trying to sound, then coke would have just helped her at that point. Okay, I don't know nothing about drugs, y'all. I don't. Y'all see, I just drank my little Mike lemonades, all right? And I'm in Texas, so I just use CBD, okay? So I don't like leaving the reality my children are in. So I don't understand people who do pills and the C word and the M word and all them things, okay? Now, Megan is stating she supposedly personally asked Sammy if there was any hallucinogenics, and Sammy said no. Yes to Mary Jane, yes to alcohol, yes to the C word, okay? So, you're telling me you know for a fact someone gave a 16-year-old coke. Why are we not hearing more about that from law enforcement? And if that's true, that means the toxicology reports are already back? Or is Megan getting this information because of what she's purposely inserting herself into and just hearing things? Because she seems to hear quite a bit. Another reason I can't really take her seriously is because she can't even really verify to us how she even knows Sammy. It's very confusing and very conflicting. First, she states that her daughter went to school with Sammy. Then she says her son just graduated with Sammy. But her daughter is in like Boise in college for some sort of horse thing, I think. Or has like already graduated or is about to be graduating college. So how did your daughter go to high school with Sammy and was best friends with Sammy for 4 years, but she's way away in college? Their age differences wouldn't have even like been a thing. What is that? Like one's in middle school, one's in high school? Like that doesn't make sense to me. And apparently in one of the Facebook groups, the daughter was in there talking about it and people brought it up on the page about how could you have possibly gone to school with Sammy if you're in college, that doesn't add up. And she never answered. She never responded to none of it. So right there, it doesn't even make sense to me. And then the lady, she is telling people now, Megan, is telling people that just a few days after Kiely was reported missing, that she was in one of the grocery stores, and someone in the grocery store told her that other people that work at the grocery store told her that they saw lights going into the water that night and called 911. So that's where all this crap came from, okay? And apparently it was related to the Mexican party that Zanime was talking about, okay? Now we know for, at least for some sort of fact here, that there is some sort of Snapchat geolocation of a Mexican party that was at Prosser that night. Michelle After Dark went in and grabbed the dispatch calls from Nevada County. Nothing, okay? And now Megan's like, oh, well, she hadn't been reported missing yet, so they didn't take the call to 911 seriously about lights going in the water. I'm sorry. So you're sitting here telling me in the same sentence that this town is known for 2 decades, that these underage kids go out to Prosser, get drunk and wasted, and are told to stay there overnight if they're too drunk, and y'all all knew, all of the whole town knew that this party was going on, and someone called about the party location where everyone, including law enforcement, knew a bunch of kids were out getting wasted, about lights going in the water, and 911 didn't show up and didn't take it seriously? They knew all them kids was out there. What the hell you mean they didn't take it seriously, sweetheart? That logic makes no sense. You and your story are false. Now, this Jane Doe 2 person that Olivia talked to, the second that chick said it had been raining, I knew she was a liar. Anyone with Google and a computer, which everyone on YouTube does, can go and look up the weather history for like ever and ever and ever. As long as the internet has been around, there is internet history that shows the weather. It did not rain at all. It was also not cold. It maybe got to like 47 at the coldest, and that was like in the hella middle of the night, like 3 something in the morning. Other than that, it was great weather and no precipitation and barely any wind. So explain to me again how Jane Doe 2's story is even like valid when right off the bat she's caught in lying. It didn't rain. It didn't rain. Therefore, everything else you just said, I discredited. Now, not that I'm trying to like discredit Olivia. I actually really, really like Olivia, but I don't know why they didn't check the weather. Her and Betty didn't check the weather. Why neither one of them caught that the very beginning of that girl's story already didn't sound correct. Because it didn't rain at Prosser at all. So, but I guess that's it. It's time to go home, and I got to clock back in and work a little bit more. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Little Miss Megan. See y'all.